Okay, if you go to publication effectivity, which is currently running for October, you can see that anything in red, that means there was a revision from previous one. So previous revision was an older revision. Now the revision you have to study for API 571, for example, here is 2020. Okay. So 570 is the most important document that you should study. 570 together with 574 probably constitute around 75, 80 questions out of 150 questions. So almost half of the question come from here, okay? Now, what's the difference between 570 and 574? So one is inspection practice, 74, and 570 is inspection code. The difference is 570 tells you about do's and don'ts, right? It's the law, the rule. You cannot violate that. The code you can never violate, okay? Otherwise, it's not, cannot certify it as per API 570 piping system. 574 is inspection practice. So, it is a combination of all the experience and knowledge of piping inspection, and it gives you very useful information. So as a piping inspector, you will go, you always consult with 574, and then you check with 570 to see that you have not violated any code requirements or any don'ts. 571 is the damage mechanism, and there are this list of damages. You don't need to study the whole document. This tells you which sections you need to study, okay? 576, as you can see, is red here. So it's pressure relieving devices. And it also tells you which section you need to study here, 5, 6, and 10, okay? So they're very particular about what you have to say. You don't need, again, to study the whole document. 577 is the welding inspection and metallurgy. So this document is a recommended practice, specifically written for welding inspection and metallurgy during operation, maintenance, repair, alteration, etc. The other welding inspector courses, they are about construction, but 577 is more focused on repair, maintenance, and alteration, as I said. And obviously there are many similarities between them because the basics are same. 578 PMI, this has recently been introduced since last year, and is positive material identification. Remember, a couple of questions come from here, 3, 4 questions, and remember that PMI, or positive material identification, is not substitute for a laboratory test for the material. And then the usual trios you have here. Here you have non-destructive examination, ASME section 5, and it tells you which articles you have to study here. And the edition is red, so that means you have to say this edition, because this has been revised. Anything red, revised. So practically, section 5 of ASME tells you about what should be in a procedure, how should a procedure be qualified, what are the essential, non-essential parameters, calibration, recording, reporting, that sort of thing, okay? And then section 9, about welding code, that also tells you what is how you should write a WPS, what is a PQR, how the PQR can be, adjusted to a WPS or the other way around. And B16.5 pipe and flanges, and B31.3 process piping. So these are the materials that you have to study, okay? Now, having said that, I want to first go to the future publication effectivity sheet, which is effective from February 2022, and you can understand how it has been revised. So as you can see here, there have been a couple of revisions here. 577 for the next exam would be, they will be using the October 2022 20 revision of this recommended practice. And same here, as you can see, on B16.5 and 31.3. So these are the revisions. Everything else remains the same. The reason you have to study the proper revision is that there will be always question coming from what has been revised. And you can always find that in the first page of the document. And our courses are always checked annually and revised according to the publication effectivity sheet.